Hey, this is Gail Anderson, and this is Mentoring Moments for Moms. Good to see all of you. Great to have you replay viewers. It's just nice to be here today. I know many of you know I was in a trip over to Paris and London, and some of my scopes, my Paris scopes, are on my YouTube channel, so feel free to go ahead and go to YouTube and either search by the link which is in my profile here on Periscope, or just search for Mentoring Moments for Moms. It is wonderful to be back in the States. It was really hard for me though to leave Paris, I will say that. A very easy transition physically. We had absolutely no jet lag. Again, God just blessed us in every avenue on this trip. It was totally amazing. We were treated like queens by the people who my daughter won the trip from, Fat Tire Tours in Paris. And thank you, it is good to be home. But emotionally it's hard. My heart is still over there in Paris. All I can do is think about when I can take my husband back there and show him all the wonderful things that we saw. So it's good to be here. Want to remind all of you that my husband and I do blog at KirbyAnderson.com, and that link is also in my profile. My email is in the profile if you want to connect with me, because I do love connecting with you moms and sharing with you. I also love connecting you with each other, and I'm just happy to be able to hear from you about different things you want to hear about. Now today I'm going to talk about something I already talked about because the podcast actually did not get saved. So we're going to talk about simple gift giving again. So if you heard that one live, go right ahead and skip over this. But if not, we are doing this for the recording, so that can go on my YouTube channel, so that will also be in there. Had a lot of people just ask me about simple things in my life. What are some of the things I consider simple in my life? And today I just want to talk about simple gift giving. Especially for all the years I was a pastor's wife, it was so easy to get overwhelmed, especially at this time of year. Wedding, graduations, babies being born. And you know, I wanted to be able to do something to celebrate with people, but I didn't want to be overwhelmed with all the shopping and everything that it took to be able to do that. So this season, you're probably going through some of that, so hopefully this will be helpful to you. Now, if I wasn't very close to somebody, just giving them a card was great. But you know what? If you have people who you're at least acquainted with, and you want to be able to recognize their event in some way, what we decided to do years ago was to give books. Now, books are absolutely wonderful. They are educational, they can entertain, and they're just a special gift that you can share with somebody. So, first of all, hi Alicia, good to see you. I hope it's warm up there in Minnesota. We'll start out with graduation. We picked several books from John Maxwell that we would give. And it's really nice to have these on hand, to go ahead and order them ahead of time, have them from Amazon, and then just pick and choose according to the person what you'd like to give them. Giving books was just a great way for us to be able to recognize and celebrate with people and not have to run out shopping or be writing constant checks. Thanks for those hearts. If you like what I'm talking about, make sure you tap on the screen. Show me some love. Okay, for new babies. Now I have a whole bunch of books here that I'll just show you real quick. But I love being able to give a book because a book lasts, and then you can write something special in the book. If you're giving a book that doesn't even cost that much, you can also throw in a gift card to wherever they're registered for, or a great baby store. Love giving books. Yes, amen. So you've got all the wonderful Dr. Seuss books, which are great ones. We had some real special ones. The Best Nest. We liked Caps for Sale. We had all kinds of books. Where the Wild Things Are, that's probably even a Caldecott Medal book. Curious George books are wonderful, especially when you're given hardback books. Going on a bear hunt. I always loved that in teaching, doing that little finger play with the kids and going through it. Something I found in recent years are the Usborne books, and I love these because they have a train or a little ladybug or something else that can actually go along a track in the book. Now, kids love that when they're older. But my favorite book to give for a baby gift is this, the Jesus Storybook Bible. Wonderful pictures, great stories, and even with a baby, you can just kind of talk about the pictures and page through. We do this with my little granddaughter, and she absolutely loves it. Hi, Taryn. Good to see you today. Anyway, it's just fun to be able to give gifts like that and recognize. Now, for weddings, very often we give this set of books for couples only, which has for men only and for women only in the set. And when I got a hold of these books, it was a great change for me. I learned some wonderful things for my marriage. And so no matter how prepared a couple is for marriage, I just think this is a great book for them to start out with. And it's just very nice to give them something like that. Now, again, I buy these things. I buy several of them all together, so I have them on hand. I go out and I buy cards all together, so I have them on hand. And I can individualize according to the person. I can write an individual note, but still, it's an easy thing for me because I have what I need without having to run to the store all the time. Now, family situations are totally different. For my adult married kids, I always give them a card, and it's not a store-bought card. It is always just a blank card where we write something very special to them, and they know they're always going to get a check. So, no big deal. They probably decide ahead of time what they want to buy with it, but that's great. Then they get what they want. For my unmarried kids, adult kids, I consider them as though they were still in the home, even though they've been gone for 10 years. But I still buy them specific gifts and probably even spend a little bit more on them because they don't have spouses yet. As far as the grandkids, I want to be able to give them something that they want, but also that mom and dad agree with. Now, if I were to ask some of my grandkids what they would like for their birthday, it would be a new Lego set, a $150 Lego set. They have big goals for things they want in Legos. But as far as mom is concerned, she might think that they have enough Legos, that what they have, they can create most things that they want, and she may have another idea. So I really want to be able to prioritize what mom wants to have in the house. I don't want to load her up with things. I don't want to give her all kinds of small pieces that she really doesn't want to have in the house. So I always talk to them beforehand. There are some great apps. The name escapes me right now. The one, GiftWell, that was it. We used that one Christmas where actually my daughter-in-law put gifts on there, showed exactly where they could be bought from, and you could just click on there, order, and it would show that the gift was bought. When you've got extended family members and they're all buying for the same children, this works out perfect because then you're not duplicating. So this is just my way of making gift giving easier, to be able to still give a gift and not have to be running all over town, always, every single week, going out to buy a gift. And yet I feel like it's very special, it's very valuable, it's going to last for a long time, and I believe it's a very special gift to give. So that's what I do. I mean, I care enough to recognize their event, to celebrate with them, and this is how I choose to do it. So anyway, that's my little bit about gift giving, and I hope that helps you. Now we'll have this to be able to, hi Kelly, good to see you. So again, everybody, if you did not see my scopes from Paris, it was pretty difficult scoping over there. There was not enough bandwidth at the places I was at to be able to actually scope and get stuff that often. Especially with the time change. The time change was 7 hours, so I didn't want to be scoping when you all were in the middle of your nighttime sleep. So I did do some videos and put them up. I also put up some of my daughter's short videos that she had on Snapchat. Next time I go, I'll probably do more, and I'll do it a little bit different, but at least you can experience some of that trip with us. Just a couple of notes about Fat Tire Tours. That was who my daughter won the trip through. This was a trip that she won, and she chose to bring me along for Mother's Day and my birthday. It was absolutely amazing. They let us do as many tours as we wanted. They had bike tours, walking tours, they had cruises, they had Segway tours. It was absolutely amazing. And the staff at the actual Paris office, completely celebrated with us every single time. We walked in and they were blowing horns. They had signs up. The first day we arrived, they had flowers on our bike handlebars because we were going on a bike tour, and they had a little label for each of our bikes. They had a photographer who pretty much followed us around taking pictures, and everybody just made a big deal about it. The staff was so great because they would tell us the background of each of the sites we went to. I'll get to that in just a second. The background of each of the sites we went to, some of the funny things, just things you would never find out. And then to be able to give you information about where to go. Don't waste your money here. This is the best deal for that. You want to see this that way. It was wonderful. So go back and take a look at some of my scopes because I'll explain it. My daughter actually won it on Instagram. All she had to do was place an entry to like Fat Tire Tours. And then beyond that, she actually wrote a little paragraph about what a hero I was. And it was very short. Most people actually just put an entry, oh, I'd love to go. This would be fantastic. It'd be the trip of a lifetime. But Rachel actually said, if I win, I would take my mom. And then she said several things. What was wild was there were other things that Fat Tire Tours threw in. They contracted a car place and gave us a 2CV tour in a car. And that gentleman, when he was, is that like Fat Tire Beer? No. It's Fat Tire Bikes because it's bike tours. So it's Fat Tire Tours. So look them up, you guys. If you are in Berlin, Barcelona, London, or Paris, you have got to go through some of their tours. It was amazing. So we're on this cars tour in a 2CV, which is a great little car, and it has no top on it. So everywhere we drove, people were staring at us, waving like we were somebody special. It was crazy. So the guy turns around while he's driving and he says, so I hear you're a hero. And I was like, what? And he picks up his paper, which gave him all the details about taking us on this trip. And it said, Rachel is taking her mom on this trip because her mom is a hero. So it was really cool. We also did a Paris picnic, and that again was provided for us through Fat Tire Tours. They are amazing. They're based out of Austin, Texas. These people are really awesome. So on the Paris picnic, they gave you everything in a couple of bags for your picnic. Absolutely fantastic customer service. So it was a great picnic. They gave you all the, the paper goods you were going to need. They gave you a little blanket. It was just amazing. So we had on Mother's Day a picnic on the grounds of the Eiffel Tower. It was absolutely beautiful. So go to Paris. It's a trip you'll never forget. It's really changed me though, as far as traveling and being easy about traveling. And that's probably something we should talk about on another scope, is just being a good traveler. My husband, in talking to him from Paris, actually said, I think you're doing better on this trip than you do when we go to Branson, which is probably right. I'm a homebody. I'm not a good traveler. Well, I changed. This was awesome. So anyway, enough of all that. Great to connect with all of you. I'll see you this week. I am working on moving my dad this week from Dallas, so I will actually be traveling to Dallas to get him and back from Dallas, and then working on getting him acclimated. But I will be touching base with you. And write me, you guys. I love hearing from you. Have an awesome day, moms.